Well, you guys wanted more. You wanted this. Don't blame me if I upset you, Manchester United fans. This is going to be interesting, isn't it? And actually, we're starting off with Alexis Sanchez. Oh dear. Okay, before we do anything, I'm going to make sure that we can fit all the players into these categories, so we can make sure we fit them all in. Hopefully you can still see who they are. So starting off with Alexis Sanchez, who has had a worse season than people would have expected. He's been shocking since he's left Arsenal, isn't he? He's not the same player at all. It just shows it's all about the confidence. It's all about attacking players, getting goals, and then bouncing off on that energy. And it just hasn't worked out. 350k a week. We all know where he's going. You'd be mad to keep a player on that high wage that isn't contributing at all. And this is coming from an Arsenal fan that has Mesut Ozil on the books, right? Arsenal are paying him a ridiculous amount of money and contributes when he wants to every couple of weeks. But Alexis Sanchez, is it 1 goal in the league this season? And Nketiah's had a better season than him, which says a lot. Oh, this is going to be really interesting, isn't it, this video? Because we've got Lukaku. And do you know what? Man United fans, you're going to have to cut me a little bit of slack because, of course, I haven't watched every Manchester United game. I only know from what I read, the highlights I've seen, and just general thoughts that I've seen on Twitter maybe. So it can be a bit skewed. You can't sell half a squad. It's impossible to replace half a squad, at this level at least. It just wouldn't work. So there are players that maybe should be sold, but maybe just not yet. And I think Lukaku is one of those. It'd be mad to sell him at this point, because how are you going to replace Lukaku in this window? You're talking, I know you bought him for what, 70, 80 million, whatever it was. He's not worth that now. But to replace a player of his quality, we all know he can score a lot of goals. You're looking at 50 mil at least. And then if you're selling a bunch of other players as well, it'd be physically impossible to do it. So for me, Lukaku is not a player for Manchester United's future. I don't think he'll be there for too long. But for now, I would keep. This video is all about for now. Rashford, for me, he's had a lot of stick recently, but I'm very jealous as an Arsenal fan, and I'm sure a lot of other clubs would agree with me, that we don't necessarily all have a young English player that has the potential of someone like Rashford. There aren't many that come around like him. He's homegrown. He's lived in Manchester all his life. He's a Manchester United fan, and he is a good player. So for those people saying that he's rubbish and should be gone are absolutely mental. If you don't keep Rashford, who do you keep? He is Manchester United. He's your number 10. Yes, he's had a poor season. I think he's been mismanaged. I think Mourinho ruined that creativity he had. Van Gaal played him as a striker. Do you remember that game against Man City? The game against Arsenal? He was brilliant. And I'm not saying that he hasn't been brilliant since. He's had some great games. But being played out on the wing, asking him to come back and defend, are you mad? It's Marcus Rashford. This guy has so much potential and I believe can still do a great job for Manchester United. And he's been linked with a lot of big clubs. So, no, for me, he's definitely a keep. Up next, we've got Martial. Is it time for Martial to be at that level we would expect by now? I'm sure Manchester United fans are so frustrated that he is Mr. Inconsistent. Moments of brilliance, but they're so far in between the moments of brilliance and being terrible. It's too common now. He just hasn't lived up to what we all thought he was going to be. That goal against Liverpool on his debut, everyone thought, oh my God, they've signed an absolute baller here. Does he still have it? I think he does, and I think, again, you'd be probably a little bit insane to sell him at this point, but